other person could have, let's say, a red mark or a scratch. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, Las Vegas. It is 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. How are you today? This is David Kohlmeyer, the problem solver, coming to you live from Las Vegas, here to help you with your problems. Thank you for signing on today. YouTube, Facebook, we are live on all different platforms. If you have not yet downloaded the Go Live Vegas app, that is a network where basically you can download the app and listen to several different shows, and the Problem Solver is one of them. Again, that's Go Live Vegas. It's an app you can download to see audio, video, basically, of the Problem Solver show and other shows that are on the network. Again, I'm Dave Kohlmeyer, retired police officer, served 17 years in law enforcement, and today I'm here to help people solve problems. If you have any questions while we're on the air today, please feel free to call in to ask any questions that you have. I am not an attorney. I am actually a retired police officer. I was a police officer in New York City. I was also with the MTA Police in New York City, and I was also a police officer in Henderson, serving the communities in order to help people and solve problems in uniform at the time for 17 years. And now I am retired for the last 6 years, trying to give back to the Las Vegas community in order to help with any problems that people may have. With that being said, we also have a problem solver progressive web app. If you want, I'm going to showcase here in a quick minute here the progressive web app, which is the problemsolver.vegas. As we're looking on the screen, you can see that basically we have the podcast little clip over here that you want to watch the previous podcast, the last probably 8 episodes. And then we also have spot here where it says legal issues, where you can click on here where it says legal issues. And if you have any problems, it says what's the problem that I can help you solve. You can click on the little link here if you've been in an accident, if you've been arrested, if you need help with finding a certain attorney, a family law attorney, if you have a neighbor dispute, whatever problem you basically have, you're going to go online, you're going to click on it. Let's just say here where it says accident, you put in your name, email, phone number, information, what happened, comments, and that information will be sent to myself and the other problem solvers that are working with me, and then we will give you a call and we'll try to help you out. We are connected to a lot of attorneys in town, and basically there's a lot of different resources that are available, and the app is basically an easy way of setting it up to communicate with people in the community. And then if I need to find the right attorney for you, sometimes every attorney that's out there is not the right fit, so I'm always looking for different attorneys that I can work with that will help either for free or discounted, low cost. Some attorneys basically that are out there will help in many different ways, and my goal is to find the right attorney to basically help you when you have a problem. The other thing is here on the app itself, we'll quickly go back to that real quickly. If you want to meet, some people just want to talk. We have a little spot here that says want to meet the problem solver. Again, put in your information. We can set up a time to meet for whether it's for coffee, to go over any problem, even at your home. I'm meeting with people at their homes these days. And then also we have some different events that will be coming up, resources. One of the biggest things is if you click on the little spot here which says resources, there's different resources that are PDFs that are available. Here we have Children's Health Project. We have the Lutheran Social Services of Nevada Senior Program. We have a COVID-19 program, Southwest Gas Program. I'm trying to add as many programs that are available in order to basically help people, safe house services. So these are all these different things that are available. Every week I'm adding these different PDFs that have different resources that are available in the community. So if we click on one of these, let's see what pops up for this one. If we zoom in when this pops up, we'll see what this particular resource is. But I believe this one's a schedule, a calendar for different events that are taking place for, this was for February. There'll probably be a new one for April now. And this one basically is, social services, different resources that are available. Again, events, there's some events that are coming up now in April now that basically COVID is hopefully going away and people being vaccinated again, so we can click away from there. But there are different like right now with COVID-19, the vaccinations, I'm working with some local pharmacies that if you need to get in for a shot, if you're older, if you're one of the first line responders, if you need to get in, you can basically reach out to me or go to the app itself, and I'll try to set you up for an appointment with a pharmacist to basically get a vaccination shot. And I've been doing that for a lot of people this last week or two. My main phone number is 702-400-7474. Again, that's 702-400-7474. That number goes directly to me. You can text, you can call me, any issues that you have, any problems that you have, please let me know. One of the things I do every single week is kind of go over certain problems that people are having in general. I'm trying to think actually before I came here what problems I've been working on this week. Several different car accidents have taken place. I've been referring them over to happens to be the Rich Harris law firm that's been working and helping a lot of people in general. So I've been referring cases like that. I've been working with some different domestic battery type of cases, false allegations. I've been working with the Defenders law firm. Recently, they've been helping several cases, so I appreciate their help and their assistance. A lot of times they're doing a lot of free evaluations and free strategy sessions as well in order to basically help people. So if you want me to connect with those guys, if you're having any type of legal problems or accident cases, please let me know so I can refer you and connect you, to those right attorneys to basically help you out. I had someone this week, which was a kind of a crazy story that I wanted to share with you. It was kind of an older gentleman. Basically, he purchased an RV, and the RV that he basically had, I don't know if he really inspected it. It wasn't that expensive, the RV. Maybe it was about $3,500. And I think he didn't clean it, and there was actually bed bugs that were inside, the bed or whatever it may be. And he was showing me all these pictures. It was horrible photos, and he was bitten up, and he's an older gentleman, and he had to go to the hospital, and his toe and his foot. I mean, it was just all kinds of dots. They're kind of eating him alive. I mean, it was really he having a hard time even walking. So one thing I will share with you is he was asking about. He wanted to take them to court. It was a civil court matter, small claims. But the biggest thing is if you're ever buying something like that, please make sure that you get it sanitized, properly. These RVs, you don't know who was living there or how long it was sitting somewhere. But if you saw these photos, I mean, it was really devastating. He was even they were talking about maybe amputating his foot because it was so bad, and maybe he was older. So, you have to sanitize these things. Even if you probably buy a new used car, I mean, it probably pays to get it sanitized these days, just because you never know. Like I said, I would never even thought about this until this person particularly called me, and then actually I met with him. He showed me some photos. I did refer him to small claims court because it was, under $10,000. But, I mean, luckily he has insurance to cover the medical bills, but he's kind of still walking around having some problems. So please be careful buying anything used, of beds or any of these items or a car. I think these days with everything going on, it pays to really sanitize these things. And there's some new companies out there these days. I think even a home, with COVID-19 going on, they're sanitizing the whole home, that you could spray down a chemical or something. So I think these days we need to start thinking about that a little bit more often in general. And the other one was Social Security. The person basically, trying to get money on a monthly basis. And they stated somehow they were receiving too much income, and now they don't want to pay any money. It was a mistake. And then I referred them over to an attorney. But I think when you deal with these Social Security or disability, that I think that you need to, meet with these people in the office, explain the situation that you have if you made a mistake on any of those forms, because the person said they'll be like homeless in 2 to 3 weeks. So I was basically referring them to some attorneys that may be able to help, and then refer them back to the agencies to explain the situation. And honestly, if you're making a mistake, on a form or something like that, I think just being very honest, to these social service entities, let them know what exactly is going on. I think that basically would help the situation. So these days also people applying for unemployment and the pandemic unemployment assistance programs. I mean, if you're being very honest and upfront, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a game just getting it in. But right now, these are social services that are still available for people for, unemployment, disability, Social Security. But if you have questions like that, I do have some experts, some of the problem solvers that I work with, basically, let me know if you're having those issues. Today, again, to mention, we're going to have a special guest on in a few minutes. And if you have any questions today, we're going to be talking with someone that basically owns and runs a body shop today. He's going to be a special guest, which a lot of people, when you get into a car accident or damage on your car, what do you do when that happens? And a lot of people just don't have experts. Some people don't know who to trust. I have a very trustworthy company here today that is basically working on cars locally in the community that you can trust and basically go to if you have a problem in a car accident and you need your vehicle fixed. So we're going to have a quick commercial break in about a minute, and then when you come back, we're going to be meeting with Anthony Hofsepp with the Collision Center, and then we'll be able to ask him some questions that you normally probably wouldn't be able to ask in general. And you can call in. We're going to have a phone number. If we post the number on the screen there, the number to basically call is, if it pops up on the screen, I already forgot the number. So it's 855-502-4321. Again, 855-502-4321. If you want to call that number basically and ask any questions today about if you had a car accident, problems about a car, fixing it, the deductible, if the car should be towed, rental assistance. I mean, this is a great day to basically ask this expert who's been doing this for many, many years. So we'll go for a quick commercial break, and I want to thank these sponsors that are basically helping sponsor the Problem Solver every single week, helping people solve problems and having this weekly podcast go live on all these different social media entities like YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and so on. So again, we're going to go for a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Day in Nevada, and we're lucky enough to call it home. The world knows us for our entertainment, but the best part about living here is the everyday people of our communities. And when one of us gets injured in an accident, well, I guess you could say it's personal. We fight for the people of Nevada every day. The Richard Harris Law Firm at 444-4444, just in case.
I recommend the defenders because they say what they're going to do and they do what they say.
You're the client, they're working for you, the attorney is your attorney.
I am very impressed with the relationship the defenders has with their clients, and I hope to continue working with them.
It's not just signing people up, getting clients, it's we're going to take care of your problems, and they care about people.
Neither one of us are giving a handout to those people so that they could take advantage, but both of us are giving them that massive hand up.
From the moment I came into the office, everyone working at the front desk was super nice and just made me feel like I was at home.
When you call, you know that they're working for you and that they want the best for you.
Welcome back to the Problem Solver podcast and show. How are you today? Dave Kohlmeyer with the Problem Solver show. Again, today, I wanted to recap of all the different locations that we're live on: Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, Instagram, Go Live Vegas app, Go Live Vegas website, and now we are now on LinkedIn Live as well. So this is amazing. That's how much, all these different things that people, are following these days. Today, welcome here, Anthony Hofsepp with the Collision Center. Thank you, Anthony, for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And you just pull the mic a little bit closer to you. And basically, I'm here with Anthony today, and again, I appreciate you coming. We've recently, met up. I know that we have some different mutual friends in general, and you're with the Collision Center. And I appreciate you coming today because a lot of people that get into car accidents that have damage basically on their cars, they don't really trust people, and people maybe feel that they're being taken advantage of. So I appreciate you being an expert and being doing this for so many years that you're coming on, on the show to just kind of talk about this stuff. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Jersey.
Okay.
Moved to California when I was younger, and I moved to Vegas about 12 years ago.
Okay.
And been in the industry pretty much since I was a youngster, working on cars and moved my way up, from the bottom up. So I pretty much understand every aspect of the repair. And now that, moved to an estimator and then owner, So I basically understand the full aspect of the repair. I've seen the changes that have happened in the last 15 years, from the technological changes in cars, and pretty much cars now are, they have AI now, artificial intelligence. Especially Tesla is one of the leaders now in the industry with that. So I've basically been in the industry for about 15 to 20 years since I was a.
What was your first job working in a body shop?
I was basically like taking cars apart, documenting, checking in parts.
Okay. So you take away parts from the car, and then you would have to figure out what parts that you need to order?
Correct. What part was damaged? How significant was the damages? Sometimes a car gets hit, and you just basically see a light damage in the back, and you don't really realize when you take it apart there's more damage. Sometimes the plastic is designed to come back to its original shape, but the damage underneath it still stays there. So it's very important that just because you see minor damage, that doesn't mean that it's minor damage. It could be a lot more. It just needs to be fully inspected.
Got it. So what was one of the biggest things? It's kind of interesting, this part, like that you were learning, like at the beginning. So like when I was a police officer, when I was brand new, I thought everybody was a good person in general, and they didn't have any guns in them, they didn't have drugs in them, And then I'm at the hospital with the guy that's been shot, and they're like, "Did you search it?" I'm like, "No, why? He's a good guy. He's a victim." And he had like a gun on him, So what did you learn as you were brand new when you were taking off the parts? Like, was there something that you learned very early on? Like there's more damage?
Yeah, basically, I learned early on that a car is designed to protect us. It's about safety. It's about us escaping the situation without any harm. That's number one, is your safety. And then we meet people by accident. Sometimes customer comes to us and they've been through a tragedy. Their plan wasn't to be talking to me right now. Their plan was to be doing something else. So basically just the safety aspect of it, and how people are affected by an auto accident, how it affects, the second most valuable thing to someone behind their home is their car.
True.
So basically, just that aspect of it was pretty much what I learned.
Okay. Because there's a lot of money in cars, right? I mean, it's one of the most expensive items out there besides your home. So, I mean, if it gets damaged, people get upset. Tell us about, so your body shop is called the Collision Center?
The Collision Center.
Tell us a little bit, as you're talking about the body shop, I'm going to actually pull up the website just to kind of glance at it. But tell us about the body shop in general.
Okay, pretty much we have two locations in Las Vegas. One east location is the Collision Center, and then our west location is High Star Auto Center. We have over 100,000 square feet of working space. We hire and train technicians. It's very important they stay current on their education and their training, because everything's changing so fast.
Okay.
So all of our technicians, pretty much, if you combine it, we have about 135 years of combined experience. So it's very important that the training aspect of it is you stay up to date with it, because just because you did something a certain way 2 years ago, it doesn't mean that's how you're going to do it today. Everything's changing. Cars are being designed more differently, fuel efficient, hybrids, hybrid fuel cells, plug-in hybrids, full-on electric vehicles, vehicles with no tailpipes, based on their so cars are just being designed completely differently now.
Okay.
We offer the latest equipment and procedure in all aspects of the repair. When it first comes in, it's important that we document everything correctly. We thoroughly inspect it. Sometimes you get hit from the back, and cars are being designed now with energy inertia. So what that means is even like the damage and the wave of the damage is going around the vehicle, so the passenger compartment stays protected. So just because you got hit in the back, you can have a buckle in the front. So visual indicators are not as reliable as they once were. Everything needs to be followed up with 3D measuring, and then we'll get into 3D measuring here shortly.
Okay. So how does it work? So if someone gets in a car accident, I know one of the problems is it looks like we got a call coming in. Let's answer this call real quickly.
You got it.
Caller, go ahead. What's your name?
Hi, this is Victoria.
Hey, Victoria. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You sound absolutely amazing. So thanks for calling the Problem Solver Show. Tell me what your question is. Is it for myself or is it for Anthony here?
Well, first I want to say thank you, David, for all that you do for our Las Vegas community. You truly are a blessing, and I love your show. I just wanted to say that.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I do have a question for Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
I was recently in a car accident, and my situation is I'm having trouble paying the deductible in order to have the car repaired. So do you offer any sort of payment plans, or are you able to help me in my situation?
Absolutely. We do make exceptions. We do offer some deductible financing as well. And then if you do happen to use the Richard Harris Law Firm, we do offer a full finance against the claim. So basically, you don't pay for anything until your case is settled. And then we get paid for deductible through when the case is settled. But you don't have to pay for it. But if it's a situation where you don't have an attorney or where you don't have the money, we can make exceptions and help you out and, get you on a long-term finance plan or, see if we can, help you out in some other way or, if we can't, do the deductible, we can, help you in other ways, whether it's, helping you with another little damage that's on your car that's not related, we could take care of it for no charge. But to answer your question directly, we can assist you with it. And we're open to helping in any way that we can.
Wow. Okay. So do I go through my insurance company, or is it, as you mentioned, after everything's said and done, then the deductible will come out?
Yes, deductible is paid all the way at the end. So the whole repair process is pretty much all it's completed. And we know that's going to be due at the end of the repair. But if it's something that you don't have, or if it's something like that, we will help you out. We are not going to hold your car hostage, or we are not going to do anything along those lines. We will, if we will help you with it, and you will not have to pay for it.
Wonderful! Yay! Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. I didn't even know this was possible.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you.
No problem.
Victoria,
What is your number?
Our number is 702-472-7777. It's pretty easy to remember.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Tony.
472-7777. No problem. Give us a call anytime.
Okay, I will.
You got
Thank
it.
you.
No
have a
problem.
good day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling.
You too. Thank you. Great show.
So anyway, yeah, that was one of the questions that I was going to have for you in regards to the deductible, because I think a lot of people don't know what the deductible is specifically. So sometimes you have to look in the insurance, they get to the accident, I'll say, what's your insurance deductible? I don't know.
Yeah.
So what do you see? What's common? Is $1,000 deductible? Explain how the deductible works in your eyes, because I think most people are just uneducated.
Sure. Also, I forgot to mention to her, deductible is only due if you're going through your own insurance policy. If it's something that's not your fault, you won't have a deductible that's due. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing too. So deductibles are basically around $250, $500, and $1,000, and it's basically determined how much you want to pay on your monthly payments on your bill. If you want to have a higher bill, you can have a less deductible. If you want to have a higher deductible, you'll have your bill will be less.
Okay.
But deductibles are common along the lines. The general deductible is around $500.
Got it. One of the things that I do, and tell me what your thoughts are. I don't know where I got this from. A lot of times it's vandalism, basically in like shopping parking lots and so on. So what is it? I normally get the comprehensive deductible to be zero, or like the windshield to be zero. But for like a regular accident, maybe it's $1,000 to save some money, right? Because insurance goes up and down in regards to the situation. What are your thoughts with that? Do you find more like vandalism taking place, or changing the deductible maybe from an accident and the windshield and vandalism? What are your thoughts about that?
It really depends on your policy and how long you've been with that company. I've seen a lot of companies that if you've been with them for a certain amount of years, that they'll waive like $100 on the windshield deductible, they'll waive, or on a comprehensive claim that they'll waive. So it really depends on the policy that you get. But most of the time, there is some sort of deductible on everything.
Got it.
But you can have like good driver discounts where they will waive the deductible. So yeah.
Okay. Like I said, I've used it before for comprehensive vandalism taking place, and I've always had like the zero deductible, which worked out. But I know insurance can go up and down, so people should probably get with their insurance company or get a second or third opinion and find out what insurance costs, right? Because you always pay, and they always say for insurance for the what if, right? The what if you get into an accident or damage in general.
Correct.
So what's the most common service that you do at the collision center? The most popular service is just putting cars back together, or is that what it is?
In this line of work, everything could be from something very minor to something very major. The good thing about us, we cover everything from A to Z.
Got it.
Whether it's something very minor whether it's a small mechanical issue, whether it's a major collision. We can handle it all. Every case is different from the next person. In our industry, I don't meet two people with the exact same issue.
Okay.
Every customer has something different about the issues that they come to us with.
Okay.
So every person I'm meeting, they have a different issue, they have a different concern that they need to address, and that's when we understand that every person that walks through that door is somebody that has to be addressed a certain way. There's no cookie cutter way in handling it.
Okay. So the bottom line is you're willing to help people, and that's the main goal, is that when someone basically gets into a little bit of a crisis or an accident or needs some problem on their car, basically you're willing to help and kind of, go above and beyond to basically help them during the situation.
Absolutely.
Even working with them with the deductible, which is a
Every
lot of
way.
people just don't have that extra $500 or $1,000. I mean, especially during this whole pandemic, right? Or people just don't have that type of money in general. So I think it's great that you're helping people that way, especially
Absolutely.
for the caller that called in as well, that she's going to get the help that she needs.
Absolutely.
So when most people get into a car accident, here's a question that basically just came in through Facebook. It says, if someone gets into a car accident, should I call an attorney first, or should I call you first? Do I call my insurance agent? What do you recommend?
First things first is safety. You have to ask yourself, when you first get into an accident. I mean, I'm dealing with people that get in accidents all day long, and a couple of years back, I was in an accident myself, and then after I got hit, I was just like, whoa, like this is what people go through to get to us. It kind of was like an experience, awakening experience that accidents can be a tragic thing. So the number one thing is safety. If it's something that and another thing that's a concern too is sometimes you don't feel the pain right away. Sometimes it takes 24 hours to wake up the next morning, and then you feel a stiffness in your back. So it's always important to think safety first. If there's kids in the car, or anybody elderly in the car, that's the number one thing to think about. And if you do, the best thing to do is to get in contact with Richard Harris's office or an attorney of your choice, and then they basically take care of everything, the whole process.
Okay.
And and if you're not injured, or if you don't need any kind of they could still help in other ways too. But that's the number one thing, is safety. Is everybody okay? How big was the accident? If it was just something minor, sometimes something minor, it has more damages underneath as well. So it's very important to think safety first, and I always recommend having full coverage, especially in Vegas. There's it's not the best known town for drivers. So always recommend getting full coverage. Yeah, you are paying a little bit more monthly, but just rest assured, what if someone hits you that doesn't have insurance and you only have liability insurance?
Okay.
Now you're in a jam that you don't have insurance coverage. Now you got to come up out of thousands out of pocket because the other person didn't have insurance, and they can care less if they go to jail. I mean, there's somebody that, it happens. I see it. It's very common.
I've talked to several people the last few weeks. There's like a lot of hit and run cases where they drive away, and I feel bad because basically if they don't have proper insurance, then they're basically stuck, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's hoping that the camera, on the corner of a building may capture the license plate. But I mean, how great are cameras, even though they're much better than they were years ago? So the problem with it is that if you have a hit and run, do you deal with a lot of people with hit and runs?
You see, it's very common.
Yeah. So I mean, if they have
Very
no,
common.
so basically, if someone hit your car and you don't know who they are, and then you have to go back to your insurance company.
Correct.
And then a lot of people don't want to use their insurance company because they feel their insurance is going to go up.
Correct.
But I guess if you have a good body shop like yourself that's willing to work with you in general, then the bottom line is you want to get the car repaired. You don't want to be driving around with a car that's not, that looks poorly,
Correct.
Well, I notice a lot of people, they don't want to use their own insurance company. They always say, I don't want my insurance to go up.
Mm-hmm. I hear
When
it
you're
a
paying
lot.
for insurance,
I
like
hear
you
it
might
a
as well
lot.
use the insurance. If you're paying for it and you never use it, then like why have insurance? And
Yeah.
what are you gonna drive around your car, looking like half of it falling apart, So I mean, I think not that I'm pro insurance companies, but I mean, if you have insurance, use the insurance. I think everybody needs to do an evaluation. You mentioned that you work with Richard Harris. I know they do free evaluation for
Correct.
people with insurance coverage.
Correct.
That if you have your insurance, you can go to their office or scan it and send it in. They'll review it to make sure that they have the right coverage in general. Like I said, so Tony, this show's been going on for the past 8 weeks now. It's on I think this is going to be
Great show.
the 9th episode in general. My main thing is really to help people. If they have a problem, they can go to theproblemsolver.vegas. They can go online, even for if someone gets into an accident or has any problems, damage on their vehicle. Basically, they can go online to theproblemsolver.vegas, put in the information, and that can refer it over to you as being technically you're one of the problem solvers because you're helping people solve their problems with the deductible, getting their car basically back up and running. And you know how the insurance companies work. You work with attorneys, you work with all these people. And since you're a trusted person in town, I think that's what's great. And I appreciate, for me to start sending people to you and taking care of them so that basically they get the proper work basically done. Because I know people are nervous about going to different body shops in town, and they've had some bad experiences as well. We're going to basically go for a quick minute break. There'll be some really quick commercials. Again, these are some sponsors that are basically helping the Problem Solver Show take place on a weekly basis. When we get back, we'll talk a little bit more about what you do in general. So we'll be back in a quick minute.
Hi, my name is Vegan and welcome to the Collision Center. We are a family-owned and operated auto body shop located on Tropicana and Topaz, just a half a mile from Eastern.
We are a DMV certified and iCar Gold Class body shop, providing a wide variety of detailed services, from small scratches and dent removal to larger and more complex projects. Our state-of-the-art facility has top-of-the-line tools and equipment, as well as a 3-dimensional Caroliner fiber optic measuring system for advanced frame repair, and a brand new downdraft spray booth for a high-quality paint refinish. We only use the best paint products available: Sherwin-Williams, DuPont, PPG Paint and Clear, in order to provide a high-quality finish for your vehicle. Our certified technicians work on all makes and models, foreign and domestic. And if you're going through a claim, we handle the entire claim process for you from A to Z. We pride ourselves on transparency, honesty, quality, and most of all, fair pricing and deductible assistance. Call or come in today for a free consultation. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturdays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Sundays by appointment only. Whether it's an insurance claim or not, let us help you get back on the road as painless as possible.
Meet Joe. Joe's a very busy guy. He's always driving from work to meet friends. And sometimes Joe's in a hurry and doesn't follow all the rules. Joe just got a traffic ticket. Traffic tickets are a major hassle. You have to take time off work to go to court and stand in long lines. A couple days later, Joe saw his friend Matt. Joe tells Matt about his traffic ticket troubles. Another traffic ticket? Just call Ticket Busters. Ticket Busters? What's Ticket Busters? Ticket Busters is the quick and easy traffic ticket solution with licensed attorneys. Ticket Busters went right to work for Joe's ticket. Ticket Busters did all the work, saving Joe time and stress. A few weeks later, Joe receives a call from Ticket Busters and his traffic ticket has been resolved with no points, no traffic school, and no insurance increase. Ticket Busters helped Joe bust his ticket, and Ticket Busters can help you too. Go to ticketbusters.com, download our app, or call 702-666-6666.
Welcome back to the Problem Solver podcast show. This is David Kohlmeyer, the Problem Solver. I'm here today with Anthony Huffsep with the Collision Center. And we've been going over basically people that get into car accidents. What are you supposed to do? How does that work? Again, you can call in if you have any questions for myself. If you have a problem, we have a question for Anthony. We had Victoria call earlier. It was a great question about, deductible. And Anthony said that he would work with her. And if you want to basically call in as well, there'll be a number on the screen if you have any questions. Again, it is a live show. And basically, you can call in at 855-502-4321. Again, 855-502-4321. We also locally, 702-329-6947. Call in any questions that you have. You can always go onto any of the different social media platforms like Facebook and so on and basically ask any questions you have. We just got a question that came in through Facebook where basically it says that I was in an accident, Anthony, and basically it's not my fault and it's my only vehicle. And if I bring it to you, how do I still get around? So I guess this goes into the question of how does it work with insurance companies with there's rental coverage? And then if people don't have rental coverage, how does that work if you're able to help them?
Yeah, it's a challenge when you don't have rental coverage and then there's no other insurance company involved. So we can make exceptions where, if a car is not drivable, obviously we don't have a choice. You can't drive the car. But if the car is drivable, we can get the parts ordered ahead of time. We can plan the repair as you're still driving the car, and then once we're ready, we have all the parts, we're ready to drop off. Then you can drop it off, and that will cut the repair time process in probably half. But if it's an exception where the insurance company is paying for everything, you don't have a deductible, so there's no deductible to help you with. We can help you with the rental side of it. So we will always try to do something and try to help, whether it's deductible, whether it's a rental, whether it's an extra scratch or an extra dent. What makes us different from any other shop? You can go to any shop, but we want to do something that no other shops will do, and that's helping with rental, deductible, an extra damage that you might have.
Okay. It leads me to a good question. A lot of times when my wife got into there was some vandalism on a car. She was in a parking lot. They wanted her to go to a specific location, and they kind of were saying that was the only place. Mm-hmm. How does it work with the law in general? Am I allowed to go to any body shop that I want when?
Yes. Yeah, there is an anti-steering law, and I don't know the exact NRS code right now, but there is an anti-steering law that the insurance company cannot force you to go to this specific shop. And if they do make you go to that specific shop, it's for financial reasons for the insurance company. They have better labor rates, for example, or that shop will say we'll get the repairs done in a week, and if it's done in 10 days, the shop will cover the rental. So there's different. It's not that they'll tell you that to go there because they offer lifetime warranty. Okay. But we offer lifetime warranty as well. So, but you can still go there to document the estimate. Because they use that repair facility's estimate as their own, because with COVID and everything going on, they're not really having adjusters like at cars. They're having one of the representative shops write the estimate, and they use that estimate and go off of it.
Got it. So the bottom line is, if I get into an accident, I call my insurance company, they said go over here, I can say, I prefer the collision center, and basically that's it. I want to go over there and let an adjuster do an estimate over there. I'd rather not bring it to John Doe, who I don't know. I feel comfortable with the collision center, and basically I'm going to bring my car there.
Correct.
But I think most people they feel pressured by their insurance company, they think they have to bring it there.
Correct.
Right?
Because and one of the reasons they use is, well, if you go there, we'll help you, we'll cover the warranty. If you go to there, we're not involved with the warranty. But in reality, the real reason is that they're fixing the car there for a cheaper labor rate, and then there's a financial gain for them from them going there. With us, it's just all about you. It's all about the client. It's all about the customer. It's all about your needs. Mm-hmm. So that's our priority, is you and your concerns.
And I think most clients, basically want the car to be repaired. They want it to be done with maybe someone that's trustworthy, and if they don't know the other person, they may feel, that they're not going to get the best work done. So again, you can't. So the goal here that we learned today is that you can go anywhere you want. I can come to you, Anthony, and basically sit and bring my car to you, not bring it to where the insurance agency basically is leading me to basically bring. Okay, so in regards to the rental car, you can help out with the rental car if there's exceptions in regards to that in general. Because I know some people, I've heard that before working with you. So the bottom line is you're trying to solve problems too. Basically when someone comes in, what's the problem? What's the situation? Deductible, rental car. What are the things that come up in your eyes when you meet with people every single day? What other things come up? Because I know the rental probably is an issue, transportation, fixing the car, deductible. Are there anything that's unusual these days?
Basically, the issue that they should have is having their car repaired right.
Okay.
That's the number one issue, and and if a lot of facilities that they have, they're not constantly sending their technicians to training. We're an iCar Gold Class facility and a DMV Class A repairer. Only 1 in 10 shops nationwide are recognized by DMV and iCar with that recognition. And what that means is that we're constantly investing in our employees and our technicians to constantly stay up to date with the latest technological training and the changes that are occurring in the industry. So a lot of a facility that you might go to, if the ownership isn't invested in training their employees, because it's costly to train their employees, it's changing so much, and you constantly have to be up to date with the changes. So the number one concern they should have is my car going to be repaired the right way? With there's a lot of things that are being on vehicles now that weren't there before. Like there's a lot of sensors and bumpers and radars and blind spot and park assist, lane assist, where when I'm driving my Lexus and I'm straddling out of the lane a little bit, it brings me back in my lane. Unless I signal. If I signal, it lets me, because it knows I'm turning. But if I don't signal and I try to go into the other lane, I could feel the vibration in the steering wheel. And then there's radar, and now there is a new technology called LiDAR. Radar, it projects a wave. So when I'm driving my car, for example, I put the cruise control on, I'm going 65 and the car in front of me is going 65. If he stops and slows down, my car is slowing down too without touching any gas or brake because of the radar. And then what LiDAR is, it projects a light instead of a wave. So, you know, the brake and the gas, it's already figured out with our artificial intelligence side, but there's so much sensors and different things in cars now that the vehicle, if it's not fixed the right way, it can be an issue to your safety
in the future. You know, people say that with all this, I guess, artificial intelligence, that, like, do you think 10, 15 years from now that there won't be car accidents because the technology is going to be so great that the car itself is going to avoid 95% of the accidents?
You know, it's hard.
There's still people in the car.
Yeah,
right?
it's hard to say, you know, where that's going to lead to. But Tesla is leading the way. You know, the reason why their stock is through the roof is that they're an artificial intelligence company. That's pretty much what they are. There's no engine. You just get in and put it on drive. There's no tailpipe. It's all based on power. And, you know, and the gas and the brakes figured out. The lane assist is figured out. They only have a little bit to go. I mean, we are closer to self-driving cars than you think. But there is going to be a learning curve there where there is going to be like some accidents and lawsuits, and I don't know what's going to happen with that because it's hard to say. There's even self-driving semis now because it's all waves. It's safer than a person. The person can look down on their phone and text. The car, he's multiple sensors, radars, LiDAR.
Got it. You know, I saw on the Vegas Strip, they were always had the cars they were testing. I mean, I guess with the whole pandemic, I really haven't seen it. Have you seen the cars? It was like BMWs. There was different cars that were picking people up, and there was a driver in the car.
I know.
But he wasn't really driving.
I know. I did see that. I did see that, but I haven't heard anything recently.
But I did remember also downtown Fremont, there was one of those, by the container park, there was one of those like small buses. But I think that one got into an accident. Down by Fremont. It was basically cruising around the container park. And we got to Google that to find it. But I mean, I know they were testing it out, you know, in general, and then so I know there were some lawsuits, but you know, I guess there's
and 1-2 lawsuits. It's gonna take us back years. So I mean, we have some ways to go, but it's hard to say where we're gonna be in 10
You know, the
years.
other day I was on Facebook with my good friend from New York that moved to California. She basically has a Tesla, and she's got a video where basically the car was parked in front of her driveway, and the car just went on fire. So is there that much electric? I mean, have you heard that a lot before? Because it's a lot of electricity or electrical. Like, have you heard of these Teslas catching on fire? Or I made a joke saying maybe she was cooking in the car. But, I mean, the whole thing went up in flames, and she basically was waiting for another car.
It's hard to say. I mean, she could have overcharged it. It could have been in a previous repair where it wasn't done right.
Okay, good point.
It's hard to say, but there is a learning curve there, even for Tesla, because I did hear about some of this stuff a few years back. It's really hard to say. I mean, there's hybrids, there's electric hybrids, there's plug-in hybrids, hydrogen fuel cell. There's a lot of different kind of hybrids and electric vehicles. It's not just electric vehicle anymore. There's different types of electric vehicles.
No, it's a crazy time with what's taking place.
Yeah.
Tell me, you mentioned a few things. Tell me what's different about your body shop, the Collision Center, compared to maybe other places. You mentioned something. Did we miss anything, or did you cap? I wanted to make sure that any technology or equipment or how many bays that you have. It's not like one.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We're one of the biggest shops in Southern Nevada. Both our locations, we have about 100,000 square foot of working space.
Okay.
You know, east side location, west side location. You know, we do offer a waterborne paint as well. It's more environmentally friendly,
Okay.
and it's being lacquer is being phased out because of the environmental issues that they're having. So we're using waterborne paint now.
Okay.
And then it's just very important to use a squeeze type resistance welding, not using the old kind of welding, so you replicate the original welds that the car came with. And then another thing too is, you know, measuring something on a bench rack on a 3D measuring system. What a 3D measuring system is basically like an MRI on a person. It measures the length, the height, and the width simultaneously. So basically we get like an X-ray reading of the car, and if there's any minor shifts in it, you know, we're able to document that, like what it is, what it should be, and then the deviation. A lot of shops, they don't offer 3D measuring. We have a Hunter Hawkeye alignment machine in our facility as well, so we don't sublet anything out to a different location.
Okay.
And then we've had customers tell us that their car drives better after the accident than it did before the accident, because our alignment machine is so accurate. If it's off by a degree, it's going to let us know. We have a downdraft spray booth. We made a lot of investments just in our spray booth system, just to making sure that the suction and everything. So we have basically like a factory finish. So yeah, basically it's just the equipment and the materials you're using basically is what separates shops from each other. Like one shop can go, they'll do the same repair, but it's just that if they use cheaper materials, it degrades everything and it actually devalues the car. So you're actually, at the end of the day, your car is losing value because it's all about maintaining the value of your car. When you come to us, we make sure that when you leave, your car maintains its value.
I don't know how you guys do it because it's such a science. I'm not a science guy. I'm more of a communicator. But the bottom is when I saw your shop, I toured it, a few weeks ago. But I just don't know. It's amazing that you can put that back together. I mean, you think of someone just with a hammer banging along just to put it back to normal. But to put a car back to, it's just insane.
It's not easy. Our technicians have a difficult job, and that's why we take care of them in every way. We make sure that they have Saturdays and Sundays off, because I used to work Saturdays before, and I realized when Monday comes, I'm not as fresh. So we take Saturdays, Sundays off. They have the latest technology training, the best tools available.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's one thing that's important. I think taking care of your employees, having a happy employee means you're going to have better work no matter what it is. Correct. If someone's going to be negative and upset or tired, then basically what kind of work product are they going to put out? So, I totally hear you with that.
Absolutely.
So today, basically, we're talking about, solving problems with body shops in general. If there's any problem that someone has, again, they can go to the problemsolver.vegas app and basically put in any type of problem, whatever issue they may have. I'd love to help them out as a retired police officer. My goal is to help people one problem at a time. There's no fee for it whatsoever. There's no fee for basically me helping or using the problem solvers that I basically use. Again, I'm not an attorney. I'm basically a retired police officer helping people, though I do have a full network of attorneys basically that are ready and available 24/7 a day to basically help people. We're going to take a quick minute break. Quick commercial. I want to thank the sponsors who are basically helping the Problem Solver show go on. And when we come back, we'll finish up with Anthony about his collision center and how he's helping people. So we'll be right back.
Another day in Nevada, and we're lucky enough to call it home. The world knows us for our entertainment, but the best part about living here is the everyday people of our communities. And when one of us gets injured in an accident, well, I guess you could say it's personal. We fight for the people of Nevada every day. The Richard Harris Law Firm at 444-4444, just in case.
Welcome back to the Problem Solver. Thank you for joining us. Podcast, audio, video, whether you're listening in the car or watching it on the several different social media platforms or the Go Live Vegas app. Again, you can always go to theproblemsolver.vegas and click on the podcast to basically watch the episode, which is always Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. Again, I'm Dave Kohlmeyer, retired police officer, helping people every single day, 24/7. My number's out there, 702-400-7474. Again, 702-400-7474. Call and text at any time. So we're finishing up with Anthony. We've got about another 12 minutes left to get some good information in there. One of the questions that just came in from Facebook was that it says, if they have some dents in their car, is it worth buying the Amazon device, which I'm not seeing that particular one, to help suck the dent out of my own car? Sounds like a kind of a handyman working at it. I have not seen that personally, but I know that there's some companies out there that try to do that. What are your thoughts about people doing it themselves?
There's different. The problem is those. What is he calling it?
He says Amazon device.
Amazon device.
I guess there's some devices out there.
Yeah. So basically, there's different kinds of dents. So that's a generic tool that he's gonna get. We do offer paintless dent repair as well.
Paintless dent repair. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep. That's basically if you're low on funds, there's no insurance involved, and there's a little dent. We do offer a paintless dent repair option where we can we precisely heat the area. We can drill a hole from the back and work the dent out paintlessly, and then we can polish the damage out and then touch up the paint if there's a paint chipped. So we do offer that as well. But
does that look okay? I mean,
it's passable. It's better than doing nothing for a cheaper price. I mean, it's a cheaper
Seems
option.
like a lot of work though.
I mean, pretty much a dent is like $75 a dent.
Okay.
So it's a pretty reasonable price. But to buy that product, I mean, you're probably not going to be able to do it right. I mean, where that product will work if it's a perfect dent on a straight panel where you can just use the suction and pull it out. But
most of the times it's not like that.
Most of the times there's body lines involved, and the metal could be high strength steel, or it could be double layered.
Got it. Another question just came and says, do you offer this new paint that changes colors in the light? Do you offer custom work? I've never heard of this one.
I mean, there's different kind of paints that might change color. There's 3-stage, there's pearl, there's candies. We do offer custom work, and then there's also like other options too. We do wraps. There's wraps available. There's also a plastic dip, but we don't offer that. I don't recommend that. But there is different paint jobs we can do, and then we can also do spray out cards. So you can basically see the actual color on a spray out card. So before you decide, you could take it home with you. Look at it under the sun, different angles. It changes. Basically, it doesn't really change the color. It just changes the way the color looks.
Okay. Do you believe you like the wraps? What are most people are they doing the wraps for? Is it just for presentation, or because they have some scratches, or what's the main reason?
Yep, it could be a lease. It could be a lease vehicle. So basically, they don't want to paint it because then they have to paint it again. It could be a company vehicle where they want to use it for their business for a couple of years, marketing, and then just unwrap it and wrap the decals on it. Pretty much along those lines. But
if you have a lease, and you don't want to repaint it, you wrap it. It's okay.
Yeah, because you could just remove the wrap when it's done.
So I'm saying if I lease a car, you saying put the wrap on right away?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean I don't know the situation where what you want to do and how fast you want to do it, but yeah, get the wrap on it, do your thing before your lease is up. Just make sure that somebody quality does the wrap, because if it bleeds onto the paint and then you have the paint chips, or if there's a discoloration on the paint, then you have another.
What's your thoughts with that? Because there's some companies out there that basically that will do a wrap, like a half wrap on the car. So my question is, a year or two later, if you take off the wrap, are the other sides of the paint going to look different because of the sun?
Good question. If it's a brand new car, it shouldn't, because there's enough clear on there. If it's an older car, absolutely, especially with the UV rays in Vegas, absolutely.
So if it's a newer car and the wrap's on there for like a year or 2 years, it should be okay?
It should be fine. If it's done the right way.
Because someone wanted to do like the wrap situation, but they weren't going to do the whole one because it was more expensive.
It's not guaranteed. I mean, it's really a luck of the draw. Whoever did the wrap, how they laid the wrap. It's really not, but overall it should come off.
One of the other questions that came in says, can you coat my entire truck with Line X? What's Line X?
It's kind of like the Rhino liner material, like the inside the bed material, where it has just a little bit of a rougher texture.
Okay.
You can do your whole truck like that, but it is going to require it to be fully disassembled. And then another.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, a lot of work. And another question is, do you want to do the door jams, or if you open the door and all the jams are going to be the old color? So if you want to do the jams too, now you got to take the doors off, hood off, tailgate off, do all the guts, put it together, and then do the outside.
And what is this, just a texture on the floorboard?
Yeah, basically like that Linex, that material that he wants to have the whole truck.
Got it.
I think that's what he's...
Must be a guy with a lot of money, sitting in. So there's a lot of things you can do with a car. I mean, it's all about money, right? If you have the money to do it, then you can basically do it.
Correct.
All right, so what are the any complimentary services that you basically offer at the collision center that you do, like tire pressure checks, or what are the things you do? I guess if you're a client, the extra things that you do for them, if you don't mind sharing that with us.
We try to detail all the vehicles that leave. There's also another thing too with the UV rays in Vegas, that headlights get discolored a lot and fast. So we polish headlights, we don't charge for. We'll do a full customary touch-up all around the car. If there's little nicks and stuff here, you'll be surprised a lot of scratches are able to be removed. You think that a scratch just really needs a light sand and a buff, we'll offer that. If there's no other way we can help, whether it's a rental deductible based on the car, we can scan the check engine light for you as a courtesy. Most places charge $100 just to scan it. We'll do it for no charge. At least let you know, hey, this is the issue you're having, and if you want to repair it, we can help you with this cost. Or if not, at least you know what the problem is. But we try to do something extra for every single customer that walks in the door, and every customer that walks in the door needs something different from the previous customer that was there.
And then what about so if someone has a car and they want to do like a free do you do like a free evaluation?
We do.
Okay.
We do, yeah.
Will you come to, let's say the car is not I don't know why I said, like, the car's not drivable right now. Will you come over to someone's house to give an estimate?
Absolutely. You'd be surprised what we can do a lot. We're doing a lot with COVID. We're doing a lot of stuff with photos. So you'd be surprised how accurate and close we can get with photos.
So even
Just snap a
FaceTime
few
and stuff,
pictures.
photos?
Not even. Snap a few pictures. Add the 17-digit VIN number, your phone number. Email it to us. And collisioncenter702@gmail. That's collisioncenter702@gmail. And then we'll get back to you within a couple hours.
And in regards to towing, if someone needs a tow to tow the car to your place, they can't drive it. Can you assist with that?
Absolutely. We will tow the vehicle to our facility, and if you choose not to do the repairs at our facility, you would have to pay for the tow. But other than that, if we tow it, you repair the vehicle with us, we don't charge for the tow. The only way we charge is if you say, okay, I don't want to fix the car, I want to tow it out. But that's the one we
Do you have your own tow truck, or do you work with another tow truck company to do that?
we have our own tow trucks, and we work with other companies as well.
Great. Do you believe, actually, it's a good question to ask you in regards to, I think AAA, there's AAA that's out there for the towing cars, and then there's also a lot of your own insurance companies have their own tow network. Do you believe that people should have that when they get their insurance? Do you believe that's important to have that extra benefit, or?
Absolutely, because when you get into an accident, you're really not thinking clearly. You're just basically you can't believe you just got into an accident. It just happened.
It's upsetting.
It's upsetting, and it's along the lines of a tragedy, But rest assured, as long as everyone's safety is okay, that's the most important thing. And then it's important to choose the right shop, and basically like what goes into the repair is like fit, durability, safety, and finish. Those are the main important things to repair is fit, durability, safety, and the finish. And, that's what we do see. So
Got it. So basically, someone just messaged through Facebook saying that if I'm in an accident, can I just have the vehicle towed to you from the accident site? Could they just say, hey, bring it to the collision center?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not a problem.
Absolutely.
It's not like the police have to impound it or, if it's an accident, it's a normal traffic accident, there's damage, you can basically call tow.
Directly, you can call us. We'll arrange the tow. If you can move the vehicle to the side of the road for safety reasons, yes. If not, then make sure that it's a safe area. You can exit the vehicle. That's very important. It's not in the middle of a busy street. And then exit the vehicle, get to safety, and leave your hazard lights on, and then we'll send somebody out. And they'll be out there within 45 minutes.
How does it work? Because when I was a police officer, every other month there was a different tow truck company. Does it still work that way?
Yeah, they rotate. Metro does rotate.
Okay.
I believe it's Fast. I believe it's Ewing, and.
So you have to use whoever they need to use because it's of immediate need to get it out of the roadway, right? But you could tell them to bring it directly to you.
Correct.
So
you have to request that, though.
You have to request it with the tow company.
Correct.
But the bottom line is you're going to have to really use whatever tow company, if it's involved, with the police are involved, then you're going to have to use their company because of their, technically it's a contract, right?
Correct.
So they have a contract with the city to basically move cars off the roadway for basically public safety. Mm-hmm. But you could still tell that tow company that is being called out by the police of where you want your car to be towed, whether it's home. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know if they do it to the home. Sometimes they don't do it to a home.
No, homes they don't because there's associations involved and people they don't want to have a hazard too. They don't want to have a damaged vehicle in their neighborhood.
So the bottom line is they can tow it to the body shop, and then you can, even if it's at nighttime, if it's late at night, they could bring the car, drop it off.
Yep, we have an outside parking. It's all private property.
You have somewhere you put the keys in?
We have a drop box as well.
Okay, drop box. Okay, good. All right, so basically, are you 24/7? Like if it's 4:30 in the morning, can I call you, or whether it's you or your associates will pick up the phone?
Absolutely,
it's available.
Absolutely.
So let's just recap. I didn't know that you have two body shops, right?
2 locations.
So give the names and the locations and the phone numbers, and then also if there's a 24/7 number, if you want to provide that right now for the listeners.
Absolutely. The phone number is actually forwarded after hours.
Okay.
So it's the same phone number, 702-472-7777. And then we are located 1 mile east of UNLV, so we're very centrally located.
Okay.
That's where we do our main repairs out of is going to be the collision center. That's our central location. It's a little bit on the east side, but more centrally located. And then our other location is on Hacienda in Decatur, High Star Auto Center. Just give us a call, and then we'll get you set up and get your car down whatever time of day and night it is. If it's an emergency is when we usually take care of the overnight calls. If it's something that can wait, till the next day, we'll set the tow up for Monday or whatever day it is and get the car towed down.
And you also mentioned that you have mobile mechanics that you have someone needs some help, that you could send someone to their home?
Absolutely. If there's an issue that a customer is having, and we can do that on an exceptional basis, yes.
Got it. And the website that you have is collision702.com to go there, which basically for the viewers watching, basically you can see it online here. So you can even request a quote, contact information. So basically, amazing website here with a lot of information that they can handle your claim and help you out. The bottom line is, you guys are, the Collision Center is the problem solver in regards when it comes down to car accidents, basically getting car back up and running, working with attorneys and insurance, and basically the tow places in general. So really, you don't have stress if you basically be using the Collision Center, which is
Correct.
great.
We take care of everything from A to Z, every process of it.
Well, I really appreciate you being on the show today in general. I think we got a lot of great information in general that a lot of people don't know in general, and then we're basically going to be sharing this with, maybe about over 100 groups in general. So again, ask for Anthony over at the Collision Center. Again, I appreciate you coming on today. Any problems that you have, we're going to be working with Anthony at the Collision Center to basically get people some help. So I really appreciate Anthony being on the show. I appreciate all the viewers and listeners on the show today. Again, every Tuesday at 11 o'clock, please log on to The Problem Solver. Any problems you have, please reach out to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, no cost whatsoever, to basically for myself and the other problem solvers to help you. Again, Dave Kohlmeyer, have a great week. Be safe and be careful driving.